my actual eyesight. Is there the high drive? Deep center! Go! 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 We're out of here! We're out of here! Say ya, playa!
Just like they drew it up in Hollywood, Caladros, the 3-2, swing and a miss! And the Audubon Green Wave have upset the Kingsway Dragons! And this is it for good! The Audubon Green Wave are back in the Final Four! A gold pile on their side!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to DW Broadcasting's coverage of men's varsity.
From our entire crew, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one, folks.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to John Oak Stadium here at Triton Regional. It's funny how the announcement started at the exact same time. You couldn't have predicted that any better, but I'm here with Vincent Folk tonight. I'm Dan Wilkins. A good matchup between the proven and the unproven. Dominic Tomeo and the Triton Mustangs and the ACIT RedHawks, who are playing in their third ever football game in 2024. They're one of the three new programs joining WJFL this year, along with Mastery Charter and Kip Cooper. And I'm excited to see these guys work. They just beat Deptford last week, because there's the marching band behind us for Triton. But they did an excellent job against Deptford. You know, they were holding their own the entire way, and I'm excited to see how they approach this game tonight. You know, they're on the road. This is not necessarily a new stadium, but a new addition to the stadium here at John Oak Stadium. The Jim Doyle Pavilion was just named and memorialized tonight. They did a ceremony when we got here at 6 o'clock. And Triton runs an amazing ship around here. The former athletic director, Keith Williams, and the current one, Samantha Trapp, they do an amazing job keeping this field in tip-top shape. But we should say, like we said, ACIT is new to this game. There isn't a lot that we know about them. There isn't a lot that is known, and we're going to learn a lot more tonight. This is going to be a learning experience for not just the players on the field, but for us up here, because we haven't seen them before. Nobody's really seen them before. So these reporters like Tom McGurk and Kevin Minnick, who are here tonight, this is their first time seeing them. So things are going to change probably from this week until the next about what ACIT football means. You got to also remember they've got Coach Sacco, the assistant coach who spent 41 years leading St. Joe's Hamilton, got over 400 wins with the program there, and I'm excited to see what they can do tonight. So I'm Dan Wilkins here with Vincent Folk, here from a very loud and proud John Oak Stadium here in Runnymede. We'll be right back with more right after this.
Ladies and gentlemen, your 2024 Triton Mustangs. Your Triton Mustangs are coached by head coach Dominic Tomeo, assistant coaches Brian Bain, Steve Feeney, William Lewin, Ryan Sellers, Tommy Small, and Ray Tralley.
Tommy, huh?
All right, so ACIT and Triton, respectively, have taken the field. They're now going to do a quick performance of the national anthem at this time.
Remove your hats as Triton students Kaylin Casey, Emily Marchese, and Jesse Schletterer sing our national anthem. One, two. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ranks we watched were so gallantly streaming into the were singing there, give through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does Star-Spangled Banner yet wave for the land?
All right, nice performance there from a couple of Triton students. Didn't pick up their names there, but we are ready to play some football. And our first time seeing the Atlantic Tech RedHawks. Of course, we have seen Triton a handful of times. They were our first ever high school football game back on August 25th, 2023, in a very contentious 19-12 win over Cherry Hill East, where a call was overturned at the final second. There was almost a near war up here in the press box because of how livid coaches on both sides were, and then it ended up working out in Triton's favor. An incompletion by East gave them the win, 19-14. But for ACIT, like we said, we're going to say this maybe 50 times throughout the night. This is just their third WJFL game and their third game total as a football program. I mean, if you think about it, pretty fundamentally, how many schools in South Jersey have how many tech schools in South Jersey have football programs? GCIT doesn't, CCTS, none of the Burlington County schools like BCIT Medford or West Tech, Cumberland County Tech. There's not a lot there. Even I don't think Cape May Tech has one either. It's very groundbreaking to see a technical school field a football team, considering that the biggest ones in the area haven't had one. And here we are. They travel from Mays Landing, and they had their first game of the year versus Bridgeton. Fell in that one, to Vineland, sorry. Right around the corner from Bridgeton, though. An 18-0 loss to Vineland, and then 21-14, their first ever franchise win over Deptford. But the Triton Mustangs will kick this one off. ACIT to return. Number 56, Anthony Freeman, the captain, with a squib kick. It's going to be picked up by the RedHawks. Number 30 on the carry, and he gets squashed at the 40 with a couple of shoves after the whistle. The return made by Giovanni Di Gregorio, and ACIT will get themselves a kick. Will get themselves their first possession from the 40.
Right around the 35.
So that's where the RedHawks will set up at the 35. RedHawks led by head coach Chris Mancuso, but also assisted by Paul Sacco, who has 431 wins in his 41-year prior coaching career over at St. Joe's Hamilton. Run up the middle, doesn't get anywhere on that one. Whistles not yet coming in. They finally get blown for a loss of maybe 3 or 4. I don't think there's really going to be any prayer for forward progress.
Oh, no. And a big slot for the Triton Mustangs. It looked like Chica number 6 and 22, Braden Lewis coming out of the pile, hoping to make the stop of the RedHawks.
How about that? Little SpongeBob action? Second and about 11 on the RedHawks 34. Little breakthrough.
Couple yards gained by the RedHawks, number 56.
Got about 4 yards on that one. Freeman on the tackle. Triton with Dominic Tomeo at the helm this year, off to a 2-1 start. A shutout over Cherry Hill East at home, a 22-13 win over Middle Township 2 weeks ago, and then a 31-7 loss at Cherry Hill East under the lights for East's first ever night game. We'll be back at Cherry Hill East on Thursday, October 10th for the annual West-East rivalry. This one's going to be a drop-back pass. They're going to line it. Did it get picked off? It was intended for number 6, Chris Rodriguez, and that will be a pick as Saunders picks up the early interception for the Mustangs, and they'll take over after just a handful of plays by the RedHawks. Good field position here for Dominic Tomeo, like we said. Last week in a Week 2 loss, 31-7 to Cherry Hill East. The remaining schedule for the Mustangs, they've got only 4 more games after tonight, and 2 of them are on the road. They have Bridgeton and Highland on the 27th of September and the 11th of October, respectively, as that'll be a tackle for a loss. Rushed by Triton's number 2, Jaden Mank, the junior. They've got Bridgeton and Highland, and then they're at home to close out the campaign versus Egg Harbor Township and Deptford. In their 22-13 win 2 weeks ago over Middle Township, 2 touchdowns were scored by Jalen Morris, including a 70-yard run in the third quarter. Morris rushed 10 attempts, 183 yards in that win over the Middle Township Panthers, as not going to get anywhere on that one. And the last thing that the Mustangs want is to have that early interception and have the momentum swinging their way, all for it to get stalled out on their first drive. You know, they got the early pick, and now, you know, you kind of have to shift gears a little bit and make sure that, you know, you can stay on your A game. As 3 minutes have elapsed here in the first quarter. Only a handful of plays from scrimmage, but we've already had a turnover from the RedHawks. Here comes a drop-back pass. Line drive, incomplete. Throw by Frankie Williams, the junior quarterback, and attempted for number 13, Saunders. That'll bring up 4th down and 10.
If Romy Saunders just keep making that, it is Triton's 4th down.
Looks like they're going to keep the offense on the field with Frankie Williams.
I got to do offensive stuff.
You know, I think we remember from last year, Michael Lewis, a very good quarterback that Triton, you know, had lost to graduation, passed for 3,600 passing yards in his career as a Mustang. This is going to be caught by Mank, and that's going to be enough for a Mustang's first down, so they're able to push the chains well into the 30, around the 28-29.
Williams is able to make that next connection to number 2, Jaden Mank. Mustang first down.
I was a little skeptical about the Mustangs keeping the offense on the field on 4th and 10, but they were able to prove themselves, and Williams was able to complete a pass to the right side with Jaden Mank. Time's going to be called here, and the Mustangs, after converting on 4th and 11, will call a timeout. Their first of the half.
Triton.
We are just getting into this one, just cracking into the iceberg. 8:36 left in the first. No score.
Company and MC Mechanical.
Glasgow, are you ready for some more action?
The dangerous adrenaline wrestling gladiators will rock South Jersey on Saturday, September 28th in Riverton. Dog wrestling makes their debut at the Sacred Heart Church with a powerful lineup, including reigning champion Breaker Morant, former WWE Tag Team Superstar Tank Toland, and a special appearance by ECW original Jim Molyneux. Nearly 20 high-flying competitors are slated for this event, sure to be an all-time classic in South Jersey with an amazing...
Had to cut that commercial short there, but it's 8:36 left in the first. Mustangs had an early interception. They have now converted into a first down as Morley on the carry to the right side.
And that's number 3, Morley for another Mustangs first down. That puts Triton at first and goal. Looks like they'll continue right at the 10-yard line.
Another carry. Finds a little space, and he's going to get into the end zone. Ryan Morley with a gift of a touchdown. Ryan Morley. No, hold on. We have a hold on the defense, so the touchdown will stand. And it's going to be 6-0 Mustangs. I saw that flag in the backfield, and I thought for sure this one was coming back, but a quick 10-yard rush by Ryan Morley was able to find a gap in the defense. Seemed like that play didn't have much to it, and they were able to convert. They'll kick the PAT here.
Penalty was on the RedHawks. It was declined. The touchdown stands.
PAT will be kicked by number 52, Sebastian Fernandez. It'll be held by Noah Karwowski. A slow hold, but it ends up working to perfection.
And
it's 7-0.
Gets the extra point.
All right, so it's 7-0 Mustangs. We're going to stay on the air real quick. I wanted to give a quick shout out to my wonderful mother, Donna Wilkins, who turns 58 today. She was the first producer in DWB history, all the way back to the first DWB broadcast back in October of 2021 in a game between Gloucester and Audubon. And I know she's been watching lately, with a nice family trip to the aquarium in Camden. And since I didn't have the time to call her and wish her a happy birthday today, thought I would do so on the air. So, Mom, if you're watching, happy birthday. Enjoy the day. Enjoy the 8-ounce Victoria's filet, and save me a bloomin' onion if you can. But Triton's going to kick this one off. It looks like they're going to take this one away from the 50, so the hold on the defense is going to be applied on the kickoff. Hold on here. This kickoff is going to be waved off. Okay. So, going to be an offsides on the kickoff. So, can't say I've seen 2 penalties on a kickoff this year, but we'll see where they spot this because it should be a 5-yard penalty. And yeah, they're going to bring it to their own 45. RedHawks on their first kickoff of the day returned the ball to the 35. Didn't get too far on it. Here comes the kick from Fernandez. A line drive to the left side. It'll be taken in at the 10 by Rodriguez. He's got a little bit of room, and he's going to get stopped at the 20, and that's where the RedHawks start their second possession of the afternoon. This broadcast is brought to you by our good friends over at the Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiators. Dog wrestling will rock South Jersey on Saturday, September 28th at the Sacred Heart Church in Riverton, 103 4th Street, with a bell time of 7:30 p.m. Dog wrestling will have their finest out at Sacred Heart Church, including reigning champion Breaker Morant and former WWE Tag Team Specialist and Superstar Tank Toland. And along with that, a special appearance by former ECW original Jim Molyneux. For more information, visit dogprowrestling.com. Handoff to the right side, taken in by Dante Franchini, who already has a rushing touchdown this season.
Taken by the RedHawks. That tackle goes to number 56, Anthony Freeman. Second down.
Looks loose. It'll be 2nd and 6. Here comes the handoff.
Another couple yards gained by the
It's fixing some, not necessarily issues, but just some situations with our audio. Of course, last week, I think you guys know, we officially ditched the tin can lav mics that just did not work. But, I mean, hey, I spent $60 at Best Buy to get them. Thought they would work. I mean, they work well in small settings, like if you're in a tiny room, but out here in a football game just does not work. 3rd and short for the RedHawks, looking for their first down of the day. Got a man in motion, that being Stevenson. Here comes the handoff, spinning around and getting a little bit of room, breaking through a couple Mustangs. That'll be a first down for the RedHawks. On the carry by Yamdri Hernandez Ramadelic.
get a first down. They'll continue their drive right at the 39.
So, Yamdri Hernandez Cremedelli on the carry. And it'll be first down for the RedHawks from the 39-ish. Like we said, I'm going to say it a million times more tonight, RedHawks in their 3rd ever WJFL and organized football game. I mean, this is great for the tech programs and tech schools of South Jersey. You know, maybe this will pave the way at some point. And a big hit and a big carry by Kazir Stevenson. So there's going to take quick look. Yeah. Stevenson on the carry.
They continue at the 49.
Stevenson on the carry there for ACIT. But yeah, I mean, hopefully that if ACIT is a successful season under their leadership, I mean, look, you've got Coach Sacco, who's a legendary head coach over in the St. Joe's Hamilton world. You know, you might see, oh, here we go, we got a flag on the play. After the first down, this one might be coming back for a hold. And it will be an offensive hold. So the friends up with us in the booth here called that one to perfection.
Penalty goes against ACIT.
So here at John Oak Stadium, a beautiful night here in Runnymede, about 15 minutes outside of our base here at Triton, 79 degrees at kickoff. We'll be down in Salem County tomorrow night,
For the RedHawks.
as our next broadcast will be Friday, September 20th, in a matchup between my alma mater, the Audubon Green Wave, and the Pennsville Eagles. It'll be a fun start. 7 o'clock kickoff. Should be a fun one indeed. Last time we were at Pennsville was November 2nd of last year in a consolation game versus Keensburg. So after the holding call, to be 1st and 20. As now rolling out to the right side. He's got a little bit of room to run on a QB rush. He's going to get a first down. There's no flags. And how about this for 61 yards? Anthony Gaetano with a QB rush that works to perfection. He hugs the sideline. And Anthony Gaetano gets the scoring started for the RedHawks at 7-6. I don't know when the last time I saw a QB rush that long. I mean, he broke free at the 50, and the next 30 yards, the last 30 yards were a cakewalk. And it's going to be a tie game if they get the PAT here. This is going to be sent away by number 5, Dante Franchini. It'll be held by number 6, Chris Rodriguez. It is up. It is a low-hanging kick, and it's a doink. No good. I don't think we've seen a doink this year either, but so off the left post, and we are at 7-6, 4:27 left in the first quarter. We'll stay on the air here. This broadcast is brought to you by our good friends over at Harper Driving School. Over 95% of students who take Harper pass their driving test on the first attempt. If you like those odds, book an appointment today at Suite 4 of the Total Turf Complex in Pittman, right off of Lambs Road. Usually I have some better scenic shots to point at. In this case, it's just the foliage and the Acme markets behind the stadium here. Just like at Allison Field at Bishop Eustace, you've got the beautiful backdrop of the Cooper River. Here we've got Acme. Hey, I shop Acme. I've got an Acme Rewards card. Nothing wrong with that. Now that I, kind of live in Pittman a little bit, there's really no Walmarts around, so it's either Acme or Target or ShopRite. Well, I'll tell you what's right. ACIT's offense has been in a groove even after getting picked. For a first-year program, it takes a lot of strength to be able to recover from that first drive turnover and be able to score on that 61-yard breakaway from the QB. This one goes to the right side. It'll be picked up by Saunders. He's going to get swallowed up at the 25, maybe even a little less. And Mustangs not going to have optimal field position to start this drive.
His run will bring the Mustangs to the 25, and it'll be 1st and 10 from there.
If you're just joining us, we've had back-to-back drives and in a score. The Triton Mustangs got a 10-yard rush on their first offensive drive after an interception to score and make it 7-0 after the PAT was good. ACIT broke away from quarterback, Anthony Gaetano, who went 61 yards for a QB rush TD. Extra point doinked off the left goal post. This one's going to be swallowed up. Taken down by number 23, Javon Lane. I mean, these are the kind of plays that are confidence boosters for a team like the RedHawks. They're coming in here as underdogs. There's a lot of things that people don't know about the RedHawks. There's a lot of things that I don't know about the RedHawks. All I know, they've got a legendary former head coach that's now an assistant helping these guys out. And, everybody's kind of finding their footing. If every football team still has to find their footing in this point of the year, well, ACID has to do that tenfold. Here comes the rush to the left side, breaking free. He's got a little bit of movement there from number 20, John Pettigrew. But, I mean, there are some big tech schools that could really benefit from having a football team like GCIT. CCTS is giant. I'd love to see that NJ Tech tournament that they do for baseball and softball and basketball and apply that to football. I mean, that would be fun. But this is a stepping stone towards that. And hopefully after a couple of years of ACIT success, maybe a couple join as independents. And then WJFL accepts them in the next couple of years. I mean, ACIT, look, the smallest roster we have ever covered a game with was Buhner last year, which only dressed 17 varsity players. These guys have, from what I can count, at least 25 on varsity and then another 15 on JV, but they could still suit up at any time. They're all dressed in the sideline there. It's going to be 4th and 4 for the Mustangs. Handing it off to Morley, not going to get anything there. That's a loss and a turnover, and the Mustangs just can't get it done. The run is absolutely swallowed up, and the RedHawks are going to have prime field position from the 30.
The Mustang 30.
Under 3 minutes to play in the first. Great field position for the RedHawks, and they're going to try to score before the end of the first quarter. Here comes a pitch to the left. And how about this? Another one up to the 20. That'll be a gain of about 10 from Yandri Hernandez. We'll see where they spot it. It's going to be at the left hash, but is it going to be enough? And it will be enough for a RedHawks first down.
And the RedHawks will get a first down before their fourth out of bounds. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 18.
Triton has burned one of their timeouts here in the first half. ACIT has all 3 remaining. 2.5 minutes to play. Pitch back to Hernandez. Looks like maybe a hold there on the offensive line, and they finally blow the whistle, even though Hernandez stayed on his feet the entire time. That will be a loss.
Loss of yards. It'll be 2nd and about 12 for the RedHawks.
Just realized that said Evan McCutcheon there, number 18. Wonder if that's any relation to the Audubon grad McCutcheon, who I didn't share any classes with, but I knew him decently well from Audubon baseball, and he was a Little League assistant, or a Little League volunteer coach for a few years. I know he's heavily involved in the Audubon Fire Department. Direct snap, it looks like, and they got him there. They trap him at the line of scrimmage, maybe even a loss of 1 or 2.
And number 50, Jaden Moore, stops the run again. More yards lost. It'll be 3rd down for the RedHawks.
So 3rd down and about 13 for ACIT. They're on the doorstep of the red zone, and they were even closer on the last play. ACIT breaks from the huddle. First with the center, number 54, Kevin Boyer, the junior. QB Gaetano running out of the shotgun. 3rd and 14 with 30 seconds and a chunk of change left to play in the first. They roll it out to the left. He's got room. It's caught, gets a hit, and gets brought down. It's within 10 of a first, but it will bring up 4th down. We'll see if they get another playoff on the reception by junior Kazir Stevenson.
And the pass is caught, but quickly brought down by number 9, Noah Karwowski. It'll be 4th and 5 for the RedHawks.
They'll have 10 seconds left, and it looks like they're going to run this one out. So at the end of the first quarter, Mustangs hold on because of a missed extra point, but both teams have found the end zone tonight. 7-6 after 1 here in Runnymede. We'll be right back.
And that wraps up our first.
Glasgow, are you ready for some more action?
In life, the road ahead is full of possibilities, but to navigate it safely, you need the right skills. Harper Driving School is the premier driving school serving Gloucester, Salem, and Camden counties. With experienced instructors, many of whom are teachers in local schools, we are dedicated to your success and will help you master the road with confidence. With an over 95% success rate of students passing their road test on their first try, you know your student will be in good hands while embarking on a huge step of their young adult lives, all while avoiding the lines at the DMV and getting insurance discounts.
We chose Harper, and so should you.
ACIT and Triton nearly in a deadlock at the end of the first quarter. ACIT and Triton have both found the end zone, but ACIT missed their extra point. 4th and 5 from inside the red zone. He's going to roll it out to the right, crosses over a defender, crosses over another, and it looks like this is going to fail. The whistles are blowing. They're going to send him to the ground. Making sure there's no extracurriculars on that play. Don't see any flags, but man, that was Jaden Moore got crossed over.
Looks like number 6, Chica, with the seat. Possession at about the 15-yard line. He's trying for the Mustangs.
But Kevin Minnick and Tom McGurk are here, so if you need to step out of the broadcast at any time, they've got live updates for you on Twitter. You can also follow our Twitter at DW Broadcasting, along with our Instagram, also at DW Broadcasting, and our Facebook on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. Handoff. Doesn't get too far. Mustangs started their drive from the 15. It'll be 2nd and about 7 after a gain of 3. That'll get them
And
one.
Jaden Mank picks up 4 on the run.
Mank on the rush for the Mustangs.
For the Mustangs.
But it's one of those things where we had Haddonfield and Woodbury a couple weeks ago where a missed extra point played the difference in the game because on that last quarter, Woodbury got theirs blocked a little bit controversially. Oh, rush to the left. Mank threw me off, but it looks like Morley gets on that one. I apologize. That is not Morley, nor is it Mank, but it's instead Frankie Williams.
And
took it himself.
The ball. Picking up another yard from the Mustangs. It's 2nd down.
Of course, we covered Triton last year in their season opener versus Cherry Hill East. We've got a player down. It's a helmet issue for number 23, Javon Moon. And so they're going to try to figure whatever that was. That was Javon Lane. Mustangs was that was a little confusing there for a second. But a beautiful complex here in Triton. Again, we didn't get to visit here last year because they were playing all of their home games at Highland Regional down the road in Blackwood because this stadium was under heavy renovations. So this is our first time actually covering an event at Triton Regional. We've done 6 or 7 games for them at this point, and this is our first one where we're actually on the stomping grounds in Runnymede. This will be a pass to the left side. I think that was Morley on the reception. That's going to bring up 4th and short. But the more drives that ACIT can snuff out, you know, the better setup they'll be later in this quarter and later in this game to set up game-winning drives, especially since you're going to have to go for 2, or preferably you go for 2, if and when you get into the end zone. Triton will be bringing out their special teams unit. We're going to have time called here, and the Mustangs. Hold on. No, never mind. Going to have an officials timeout here. They're walking over to the ACIT sideline. And trying to figure out what's going on here. They're huddled up near the chain gang. There's 3 officials over there. It's interesting. I honestly couldn't tell you what they're discussing, but they seem to be walking away from. I mean, they were huddled up near the chains, near the down marker, which is right now 4th and 4.
Hey, good job! Get him off the field!
This guy sucks. So you can see down there on the far sideline, once Franchini moves, you see there's an ACIT staff member. Oh, yeah, look at that. So there's the person who's holding up the down marker might have been bit by something. You can see they're applying some sort of bandage, maybe, to his lower leg, towards his ankle. So, but the offense and defense are taking the field again. They had them in like a timeout formation. I was curious what it was because we had a stoppage a couple minutes ago for an ACIT player, Lane, who had a helmet issue, but this is something entirely different. You can see maybe some sort of gauze being applied to the official's left ankle, a high ankle situation there. Yeah, I don't think so. Saying some sort of gash or something, obviously, can't speculate too much with, your medical HIPAA laws and everything like that, but...
to our athletic trainers taking care of all of us here.
Yeah, I was going to say, shout out is due for... So they're going to get a substitute in, I guess, for this possession. So one of the officials being treated on the far sideline here. Triton bringing out their special teams unit. Looks like Pettigrew. No, I'm sorry, number 22. To punt this, it lands at the 49, and this will roll back to the 38. On the punt by Braden Lewis. And ACIT will take over. So, yeah, so both athletic trainers are actually over there. Andrew Reichert for ACIT, and don't have an athletic trainer listed for Triton on this roster at least, but you can see both of them attending to the official over there. They're wrapping up his left ankle in like a blue tape. Vince, I can't say I've ever seen that one before, but you see something new every day. First and 10 for the RedHawks from the 38. Finds some room up the middle. Ball might be coming out here. Triton wants it back. The home crowd certainly thinks it's back. And ACIT is going to recover, so their drive stays alive.
And it looks like the ball popped out on that run, but the RedHawks maintain possession. It'll be second down for ACIT.
So RedHawks recover their offensive fumble to make this one 2nd and 7 from their own 41. I just don't know what could have happened on the sideline for the official to get that kind of gash. Like, maybe it was the chains themselves. I mean, we were talking before the game about the actor from Police Academy who played for the Baltimore Colts, and his career ended because of the chains. He tripped over the chains on the sideline and basically tore everything in his leg. They wanted a face mask on that call after the pass rush by Tavon Douglas.
Quarterback in the backfield, way out of bounds.
And I can agree with them there. That definitely on our cameras looked like an offensive face mask. So even though they don't get the benefit of what would have been a face mask, it'll be 3rd and 10 from the 38. If you're just joining us, Triton punted on their last drive after a lengthy delay due to an official injury.
Tell Tyvon to watch where you pick up the back.
ACIT looking to convert here, get it across the 50. First down, have to get to their own 48 or better. Here comes the handoff to Taco Hernandez. No, they're going to pass it to the right. Intended for Franchini, and it's incomplete. It'll bring up 4th and 10, and ACIT brings out the special teams unit again.
The pass is incomplete. We're looking for RedHawks 4th down.
Well, that's kind of your humbling drive if you're the RedHawks. You got to think about, you scored on your first drive of the night. Did it pretty much with swift efficiency and ease after that rush. By your QB Franchini going for 61. And they will punt it away. It looks like number 12. 12. That's going to be 12, Joseph Handel to punt. Back to return will be Lewis.
Center move.
And a low-hanging punt. That will run back to the 30. And they're finally going to let this one stop. Picked up by Angelo Gonzalez, and the Mustangs take over after back-to-back punts.
31.
And very quickly, the Mustangs have a chance for redemption to get this ball back and get them back into the end zone and even the red zone here tonight. Handoff over the middle by Morley. Gets a handful of yards there. Gets stopped at the 43. That'll be enough for a Mustang first down.
And that's number 3, Ryan Morley, busting through the RedHawks defense, picking up a Triton first down. And they continue at the 42.
Definitely an important part of this Mustangs offense is going to be throughout the night being able to capitalize and get those first downs. He started off the drive early, first play from scrimmage after the punt and the punt return, and they were able to make it happen. This might be another one as Morley goes again. That should be another one as he has rushed for 10 yards back-to-back, and it will be another Triton first down as they are driving hard.
James back with a good block.
So Morley gets a nice rush, aided by his offensive blockers. And they are across the 50 on just 2 plays after this punt. And they are at the opposing 48 in the I form. Here comes the handoff to the fullback, Mink, and this will be coming back for false start. If you're just joining us here from John Oaks Stadium, we had back-to-back punts here in the second quarter. ACIT had 4th and 5 on the first play of the quarter and failed. Also, I gotta admit, very nice helmets on both teams tonight. ACIT with those black markers. I really like those helmets. That's not the traditional RedHawks logo that I know, but I also can't forget the Triton's logos. They have some of my favorite jerseys and uniform combinations in South Jersey. You really can't go wrong. 1st and 15. Here comes a breakaway. He's got some room, and on 1st and 15, he converts for a first down. Perfect right there from John Pettigrew.
Mustang first down. Straight drive down the field.
These guys are pushing hard. They didn't let that false start bring them back.
The 34.
Morley had 2 rushes in a row of 10 yards or more. And now Pettigrew puts his name into the hat. Here comes a handoff again to the fullback. They keep pushing them. And how about that for a bit of help from your offense? As another handoff to Mink. I like to see the use of the fullback there. I like the fact that they are getting themselves creative, and I mean the thing that I like about Tomeo, he is a very creative play caller. You know, back when he had Mike Lewis at the helm, I mean, you don't throw 3,600 passing yards on just luck alone. You also have to have a good play caller who puts you in that situation. And Frankie Williams, of course, doing a good job as well, as that's going to get stopped. And it seems like this momentum for Triton needs to get picked up.
Have a car that needs to be moved. If you are the owner of a white Toyota Corolla, a New York license plate,
New York,
LLN 8196. We need you to move your car now, please.
Yeah. There it is. Yeah. Security guard sitting back there. Oh, boy. It's those New York license plates, right? Always has been and always will be. 3rd and short. And we're going to have another flag on the play here at the snap. And it will be offsides on defense.
And it's an offsides call.
Wait a second. It's offsides, but they're going back 5 yards? Oh, so it's a false start, but all right, yeah. I was like, hold on, well, no, the white cap put his hands on his hips. It was offside, then he pointed at ACIT. So it's official trickery tonight. Here comes a breakaway to the left from Morley. He's got a little bit of room. We've got big flags. We've got flags everywhere.
And number 3, Ryan Worthy, the outside.
We've got dirty laundry everywhere, and it's going to be a hold bringing them back.
It'll be holding against Mustangs.
Some of their assistants on the sideline not happy at all. I mean, we had flags coming in everywhere after the line of scrimmage as well. And like we said, they started this drive in an excellent position. And a Barrington ambulance has pulled up to tend to this official. The newest development of that, they're on the track near the far sideline. So, I mean, the official was standing and holding his down marker, but apparently whatever it was seems to have worsened, or they're just going to have him checked out. I'm not sure. Can't speculate too much there. Here comes a pass, dumped off to Mank. And he will get knocked down on the sideline, on the Triton sideline. Hold on here. Whistles are going to stop, and we've got more flags at the 30. It's going to be an ineligible man downfield for the Mustangs. That's another play I haven't seen, or another flag I haven't seen called this year.
Mustangs. Give a receiver.
And I'm trying to think, like,
It'll be a repeat.
yeah, Eagles had like 2 in the first half on Monday. I didn't understand it because I didn't see them call it that often. But I guess in the NFL they're cracking down on it more, and people are upset about it. And I don't know.
They can't go 2 yards ahead.
I can't watch the NFL as much as I used to. I mean, there's been so many, the new kickoff rules. I mean, if they did that in high school football, I don't know if I'd keep watching high school football. 3rd and 20 for the Mustangs. Williams has no choice but to pass, and it's going to be over everybody's head. Intended for either Saunders or Travaglini. Saunders put his hand up, or Travaglini put his hand up, but couldn't get there, and it'll be 4th and 20. They'll bring out the special teams unit. I mean, that's just a disappointing drive. I mean, there's not a whole lot of ways I can sugarcoat that. They had a really nice start with Morley, getting back-to-back rushes for back-to-back first downs, and then picked up another one with their number 20 rusher, John Pettigrew. And that seems to just stall out. And that's the worst kind of drive where, you know, everybody's hyped up, everybody's standing because they think that they're going to get a really special drive. And how about this? This one's going to go over the head of Lewis, and he will still punt it away and still get good distance on it. Fair catch is called at the 15. And defense is going to try to step it up here for the Mustangs. This broadcast is brought to you by our good friends over at Garden State Pet Center. #1 shop in South Jersey, and keep your pet happy and healthy with the most organic food products available in South Jersey, along with toys, cages, accessories, and more. Visit 7 days a week at 226 South Whitehorse Pike in Audubon.
The RedHawks kick it over at their own 15, it looks like.
Yeah, good luck to that Toyota Corolla, because they have to move. Yeah. Another ambulance is in the parking lot. Big loss there for ACIT. Got maybe 5-yard loss. Yeah, I don't know. Down there on the entrance to the stadium.
With the backfield, it'll be 6 alone for the RedHawks.
So obviously a serious situation has evolved here after what just seemed like the athletic trainers were tending to this official. There are now 2 ambulances on the field, or on the sideline, on the track. A Barrington one and 2 Barrington ones at that. So hopefully everything's okay. 2nd and 20. After a huge loss, they are backed up to their 8. This is not going to get anywhere from a carry. Looks like Nixon Matos on the carry.
Yes. And then you got
Get anywhere there.
And the defense stops the running.
Third and 20.
Down, RedHawks.
So, gonna have another stoppage here.
third. It's on the guys now. Talk to the doc on who's transitioning, who's going to be.
Timeout's going to be called. Actually, I'm sorry, not a timeout, but an injury timeout for Triton. Dominic Chimeo out there. And one of the things that I love about Triton's jerseys is that they don't put the name on the back.
For games, we want to say congratulations.
And they put on their road jerseys, they put loyalty. On their home jerseys, they put discipline. And that's always fun.
It was Leo Dennis, a 27-punt return. Trey Williams, a 28-yard pass from Liam Moore.
But
and Nate Calabria,
I mean, you don't see a lot of high schools that do put the names on the back of jerseys really anymore, and I don't think it's really ever been a trend. Just because, you know, it's not. It brings me back to one of those quotes I heard from Rich Horan back in the day, because one of his players asked him 15, 20 years ago when he was a younger head coach, but still had a lot of wisdom. You know, he said, you know, one of his players asked him, why don't we have our names on the back of the jerseys? And he said, you play for the name on the front of your jersey, and you put in the hard work so that one day you can play for the name on the back of your jersey. Some great wisdom there from 600-win head coach Rich Horan there of Audubon Baseball for past 32 years. 3rd and 15 for the RedHawks. We've got to rush out to the right side. This is going to be a nice carry that's going to keep in bounds. It's going to get to the 40 on the rush by Gaetano. And he has contributed big time so far in his first half. And he has just been phenomenal so far tonight. The 61-yard rushing TD, the keeper TD, to get them on the board, and now they're converting on not only a 3rd and 15, but a 2nd and 20. Those are hard to overcome.
We're not even moving our feet now.
Another rush. Doesn't get too far. Under 2 minutes to play in the half. Seemed like this was going to be a high-shooting gauntlet to start, but things have really stalled.
Well, that's what I saw.
2nd and 8 now from the 36. As the RedHawks have 85 seconds and counting here in the first half. A very quick first half of under an hour. This game has gone lightning fast, and we've got flags. Why did I say that? First half in under an hour? Why did I bother saying that? We've got false start on the offense, and that knocks it back 5 yards.
And there's a false start.
So you can see the official down there taking a drink of water, again being attended to by the Barrington staff. The second ambulance that was on the field is now reversing and leaving. The red ambulance is still on the outer track, was here at least for the past 15 minutes. And the second one pulled up. There is a Runnymede police officer who is obviously telling him the situation that we're not aware of. But other than what that unfortunate official is going through, we have a beautiful night here in Runnymede. The sun is setting behind the student courtyard for Louis Capelli, who of course is a popular name here in South Jersey. That'll be a tackle in the backfield to bring up 2nd and long. Clock's going to stop. We got a timeout. It will be
RedHawks 3rd down.
Chimeo and the Mustangs are going to call a timeout. They use their 2nd of the half, and we will be right back as under a beautiful skyline here in Runnymede. It is 7-6 with 1:10 left in the half.
Ads to be included in the 2025 homecoming program book. If you would like to shout out your favorite homecoming rep, a senior football player.
Garden State Pet Center is an independently owned full-service pet store. Our specialty is promoting companionship between people and animals by providing the healthiest product choices available, including all-natural foods, supplements that support and relieve health issues, and innovative products for pet parents. Our goal is to provide our customers with a relaxing environment, and while we're not striving to be the biggest store on the East Coast, we're striving to be the best. No other pet store will make you feel at home like we do. At Garden State Pet Center, we view pets as members of the family. We don't believe in fast, high-pressure sales, but instead matching up the right pet with the right owners, as you are making a lifelong commitment. Together with our team members, we would like your visit to our store to be both enjoyable and educational. Simply drop in and take a look around. View the birds, reptiles, small animals, toys, food, cages, and miscellaneous items. Learn of the services we have to offer and decide for yourself if this is the store you'd like to call your home away from home.
Victor Santucci, owner of Garden State Pet Center. Visit us today at 226 South Whitehorse Pike in Audubon, New Jersey. We're open 7 days a week for all of your pets' needs.
Wonderful shot there from John Oak Stadium here in Runnymede. Wonderful press box as always. This has been a spectacular night for the Mustangs so far. Not just on the field, but off the field as well. And we've got flags. Going to be a false start on the RedHawks. That will knock them back 5 yards to 3rd and 22. So, but Coach Jim Doyle got his dedication tonight. The Coach Jim Doyle Pavilion was just established today. We were talking with Athletic Director Samantha Trapp about this addition, and talking about how many renovations this stadium has gone through in the past year to be reopened in 2024. As here comes an air out. It is caught down the sideline, tugging away. He cuts through. He's still on his feet at the 25. He breaks through again. He is in the red zone. Are you kidding me? They just converted on a 3rd and 23. That's Stevenson.
Successful throw from number 4.
Oh.
Completion is given to
That's going to be
6 Anthony Freeman.
A RedHawks timeout. Will stay on the air.
First down.
Man, backed up
And they
inside their own 25. A 52-yard completion. And less than half of those were air yards. That was Kazir Stevenson, number 1. And you can see the ambulance as we're in the timeout backing out. However, the official is still hanging around. So that's great to see. That is great to see. I saw 2 ambulances, and I'm thinking, how many people are hurt? But they seem to tape up his ankle. I don't know how the gas happened, but those chains are no joke. Like we said, we were talking about that one Baltimore Colts player, won the AFL championship in 1967 with the Colts, and his career ended in 1970 when he blew out basically every ligament you can think of when he tripped over the chains. And the chains were raised, and then he had a very successful career in police academy movies, ripping out back seats of cop cars. 1st and 10, RedHawks are on the line of the red zone at the 20. And dropping back Gaetano. He's had success in the rush game tonight, stays on his feet. And doesn't get it there. We do have a flag on the play. Let's see what this is here. They're going to wave off the flag. .44.
And the Mustangs put some pressure on.
And the RedHawks call another timeout, so each team has 1 remaining. We'll be right back. 45 seconds left in the second quarter. 7-6 Mustangs.
Garden State Pet Center.
Last throw, are you ready for some more action?
The dangerous adrenaline wrestling gladiators will rock South Jersey on Saturday, September 28th in Riverton. Dog Wrestling makes their debut at the Sacred Heart Church with a powerful lineup, including reigning champion Breaker Moran, former WWE Tag Team Superstar Tank Toland, and a special appearance by ECW original Jim Molyneux. Nearly 20 high-flying competitors are slated for this event, sure to be an all-time classic in South Jersey, with an amazing night of professional wrestling action planned for you. Dog Wrestling at the Sacred Heart Church, 104 4th Street, Riverton, on Saturday, September 28th at 7:30. Tickets are only $20. For more information, visit dogprowrestling.com.
45 seconds left in the first half. RedHawks on second and short. Got a chance to make some magic here and punch into the end zone before the end of the half, but they don't have a lot of time to do it. They bring it back to Taco Hernandez. And now we've got a flag coming in from the back. 37 seconds now. This is going to be a hold on the RedHawks to bring them back. I mean, it's the epitome of one step forward, two steps back. These guys are just trying to get into the end zone. They're trying to do everything they can. They're pitching the ball out. They're doing jet sweeps. They're doing home run balls. They're doing QB rushes. They're doing everything they can, and then that hold is just kind of a gut punch to the RedHawks offense and a blessing to the Triton defense, who has done the best they can but just have not capitalized in every situation. And the players getting a nice crowd participation moment here with Valesco defense chants. Can hear a little stomping below us. Clock running again. Dropping back. They've got so much time and incomplete. Intended for Stevenson, broken up by Saunders.
And that was number 13.
And the incompletion stops the clock at 22 seconds.
For the coverage, making sure the pass was not completed.
ACIT, after the hold and after the incompletion, now backed up to a 3rd and 11 from the 21. And they were in a really good position. They were in the red zone, solidly in the red zone. And now those hopes are waning a little bit with 22 seconds left. Here we go again. Keeper up the middle. He's got a tackle at the line of scrimmage from Gaetano. And now the RedHawks are going to use their final timeout. Don't forget, tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, we travel down 295 to Salem County for a matchup between my alma mater, the Audubon Green Wave, and the Pennsville Eagles. It's a 7 o'clock kickoff at 7 p.m. No Saturday games slated for this week, but we do have a nice matchup on Sunday, September 22nd, in fall ball softball between the Cecil College Seahawks and the Camden County Cougars. That will be 12-2 for a doubleheader from Blackwood between Cecil and Camden County for fall ball softball. That'll be a fun one. And, of course, for next week, Monday, September 23rd, we've got a matchup between the Clearview Pioneers and the Delran Bears in boys soccer. Reigning two-time state champion, back-to-back state champion, Delran Bears, now without Drew Roscos, but Clearview and Delran combined for over 35 wins in the 2023 campaign. The two very respectable longtime programs, one of the Tri-County League and one of the Burlington County League. So it should be a fun one on Monday. And then Thursday and Friday games again, maybe even a triple header again. And the thunderous crowd here in Runnymede. 15 seconds to go. Gaetano has room. He's hit as he throws. It is it's corner of the end zone. Touchdown, RedHawks. Incredible catch in coverage by Kazir Stevenson. And they take the lead on a 20-yard pass. 4th and 11. They're able to convert. And ACIT takes the lead. Couldn't have drawn that up any better. That drive was not going well. They were in the red zone. They were just about to stall out, and they found their hidden gear. And they take a 12-7 lead at the tail end of this first half. Triton did what they could there. That was Stevenson on the catch. So Stevenson has had some crucial catches on not only this drive, but through the entire half. Gitano with a 61-yard rush to open the scoring for RedHawks. Now they're going to go for 2 to try to make this a 7-point game. From the 2-yard line, here comes a keeper by Gitano. He finds room. There's no way. He just got it. He went to the right and fooled everybody. He gets it back on an improbable 2-point conversion, and the RedHawks lead with 10 seconds left, 14-7. That was great. I mean, that was an excellent play call there. They were able to get the job done, and now they will kick the ball off with 10.8 on the clock. Not too much I can say there. I mean, just ACIT, like I said, they were about to stall out. It was 4th and 11. I thought that ball was going to be turned over, but props to them for proving me wrong, right? You know, that's what you want to do as a commentator. You want people to prove you wrong. And, you know, setting the expectations here, and ACIT certainly putting a lot of us on notice here. I mean, these are the same guys that beat Middle Township 2 weeks ago, fell to Cherry Hill East last week, but Triton certainly wishing to ramp up the offense in the second half. I wonder if they're just going to take a knee at the end of the half once Triton gets this ball back, because you've got 10 seconds left. You don't want to end up getting picked off. We saw that a couple times last year. This is going to be sent away by Franchini. Lewis and Saunders back to return. A low-hanging kick. This one's going to take several hops, and Saunders booted it but hangs on. And he is going to get eaten up at the 20. Got hit from below the waist, and Triton will take over in not the best position, but it'll be 6 seconds left, and they'll have time to get probably one play off. Each team, Triton 1 timeout left, ACIT with
Mustangs
0.
started their own 22, 1st and 10 for Triton.
They'll go in the formation, and they'll take a knee as at the end of the first half, ACIT pulls off some late heroics at the end of the second quarter. Get in the end zone with 10 seconds remaining. Then they pull off an even more improbable 2-point conversion. They take a 14-7 lead. And under the beautiful lights of Oak Stadium here in Runnymede, it is ACIT 14, Triton 7. We're going to take a break as it's spooky season here in Triton. We'll be right back.
Last borough, are you ready for some more action?
The dangerous adrenaline wrestling gladiators will rock South Jersey on Saturday, September 28th in Riverton. Dog wrestling makes their debut at the Sacred Heart Church with a powerful lineup, including reigning champion Breaker Moran, former WWE Tag Team Superstar Tank Toland, and a special appearance by ECW original Jim Molyneux. Nearly 20 high-flying competitors are slated for this event, sure to be an all-time classic in South Jersey, with an amazing night of professional wrestling action planned for you. Dog wrestling at the Sacred Heart Church, 104 4th Street, Riverton, on Saturday, September 28th at 7:30. Tickets are only $20. For more information, visit dogprowrestling.com. In life, the road ahead is full of possibilities, but to navigate it safely, you need the right skills. Harper Driving School is the premier driving school serving Gloucester, Salem, and Camden counties. With experienced instructors, many of whom are teachers in local schools, we are dedicated to your success and will help you master the road with confidence. With an over 95% success rate of students passing their road test on their first try, you know your student will be in good hands while embarking on a huge step of their young adult lives, all while avoiding the lines at the DMV and getting insurance discounts.
We chose Harper, and so should you.
Garden State Pet Center is an independently owned full-service pet store. Our specialty is promoting companionship between people and animals by providing the healthiest product choices available, including all-natural foods, supplements that support and relieve health issues, and innovative products for pet parents. Our goal is to provide our customers with a relaxing environment, and while we're not striving to be the biggest store on the East Coast, we're striving to be the best. No other pet store will make you feel at home like we do. At Garden State Pet Center, we view pets as members of the family. We don't believe in fast, high-pressure sales, but instead matching up the right pet with the right owners, as you are making a lifelong commitment. Together with our team members, we would like your visit to our store to be both enjoyable and educational. Simply drop in and take a look around. View the birds, reptiles, small animals, toys, food, cages, and miscellaneous items. Learn of the services we have to offer and decide for yourself if this is the store you'd like to call your home away from home.
Victor Santucci, owner of Garden State Pet Center. Visit us today at 226 South Whitehorse Pike in Audubon, New Jersey. We're open 7 days a week for all of your pets' needs.
They were able to get out unscathed in the third, but now the fourth isn't looking so kind. There's a high drive, deep center, way back, and it is out of here! John Pelosi! 3-run home run! He's left the building to dead center! And John Perosi's blown this game wide open! Have yourself a celebration, Johnny! We'll lead it off for the Senators. Chase Rollins, the player-manager for CHP, gets it started with a ball upstairs, and we are underway in Game 1. 1-0. That one is hit well out towards left, and it is gone off the top of the goalpost. Shane Adamski with a thunderous start to his playoff series. Second pitch of the game, a solo homer to left, and before I could even write the first name down in my scorecard, it's 1-0. We'll lead it off for the Senators. Chase Rollins, the player-manager for CHP, gets it started with a ball upstairs, and we are underway in Game 1. 1-0. That one is hit well out towards left, and it is gone off the top of the goalpost. Shane Adamski with a thunderous start to his playoff series. Second pitch of the game, a solo homer to left, and before I could even write the first name down in my scorecard, it's 1-0.
right, start of the second half. And Vince, this has been a weird game, especially since I think a lot of it is underestimation. We didn't expect ACIT to come out here and be as competitive as they were. And to be fair, that's because we don't have anything to go off of. We have an 18-0 loss versus Vineland and a 14-7 win or something like that over Deptford. And that's where we're at right now. This is their third game. We don't know what to expect. They might rip off 4 or 5 more wins throughout this regular season. They've got some legendary coaches in their assistant core. And Vince, this has been a tumultuous game for Triton, who has just tried to put everything together, but they can't get that the piece of the puzzle to fit. They scored first. They got a 10-yard rush from Morley to get in the end zone. But after that, ACIT 14 unanswered points, and they lead 14-7.
Yeah, I mean, just looking off this game in general, it started off at a pretty good speed, then it could just kind of die down. Then we started to see flags after flag, flag after flag after flag. But
it's when I said that the half was going to end in under hours.
See,
You can blame me on that one.
That's the voice of the broadcaster, right? There's the
from above.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're looking at it. I mean, right now we have to talk about Stevenson for ACIT, who's had an absolutely incredible game. First half was incredible. The catches. I mean, the gains that he had on his, one of the big catches, and then, of course, the touchdown where they were able to get the 2-point conversion at the end was just an incredible catch in the far corner of the end zone. So, I mean, looking at it right now, ACIT coming in here is a team that is extremely gritty. They're a young organization trying to prove a point. They want to start on a very, very high standard, and this is pretty much... This game right here is setting the bar on how people think about them. Again, they are a new team. You want to start at a high level. You don't want to come in and just kind of bounce around and people think, oh, it's ACIT. We're just going to roll over them. Right now, they are not saying that at all. They are setting an extremely high bar. And right now, what we've seen from them in the first half is, I mean, I'm not going to say 100% domination, but they have definitely dominated at times. And yes, it's only a 14-7 game.
So plenty of time left.
It's a one-score game. So don't go crazy saying I don't want to go crazy saying they absolutely dominated. What they've been, I mean, it's been pretty incredible. Again, like we said, a tech school as well in South Jersey. And playing this well, this is absolutely incredible start.
Well, I'll tell you, for Triton, Dom Tomeo is a coach that does not mince his words. And when he's not satisfied with his team's performance, he's going to let them know. And he's going to change the culture for this second half. These guys are hyped up. They are loud on the sideline. You found some of that energy coming back towards the end of the first half. And that's the kind of thing that changes a culture in a town and in a school, is a coach like Tomeo who's able to rile up his players really at any given moment. And, that's what we're going to see here in the second half. I think Triton's going to get in the end zone a couple more times just because he is a second half monster. And I don't mean that in a mean way. I literally mean that in the fact that these guys know how to play when it matters most. And even though they didn't put out their best and their best core in the first half, I think they've got something good in the second half. We're going to turn it back as ACIT is getting ready for kickoff.
There you go. Look at that. All right, perfect. If I have time, so I'll turn it on. I don't know if it echoes if both of them are on, if I leave it on. Yeah. Okay. I just don't want it to give like you're doing a broadcast to a tunnel.
We're gonna have to figure it out as we go on through the season.
But here's the thing: if I leave it on, it sounds bad. I'll shut it off. I'll only turn it on when
And we're back, and the Mustangs will receive to start the second half.
ACIT to kick off, starting the second half. Triton to return.
Right.
$14-7 ACIT. Here comes the kickoff, flying out to the left side. This one is going to roll out. And the kicking out of bounds call starts off half number 2. Don't forget, we've got a busy week of DWB action coming up. Friday, September 20th, tomorrow at 7 o'clock, is a matchup between my alma mater, Audubon High School, and the Pennsville Eagles. Green Wave Kickoff at 7 o'clock. No game on Saturday, but we will be back in action on Sunday, September 22nd, for a matchup for fall softball between the Cecil Seahawks and the Camden County Cougars at a 12-2 start for their doubleheader. Then Monday, the 23rd, is a out-of-conference boys soccer matchup between Clearview and Delran. Here comes a handoff. Doesn't get anywhere on that one. Tackle made by number 99, Nathaniel Aurelis. And that'll be a loss to kick off the half for the Mustangs. 2nd and 12 from the 33.
It'll be down for the Mustangs.
Like we said, Mustangs found the end zone first on a rush by Morley, and he's been a big part of this rushing core tonight for the Mustangs. But just haven't found their groove after the first quarter. There was no scoring in the second quarter except for the touchdown with 10 seconds left. I was thinking it was going to be a scoreless frame, but instead, ACIT tacks on 8 points, makes it 14-7. I mean, we were concerned at first about the RedHawks potentially being the victim of what basically is what happened in Hanfield-Woodbury on August 31st. Was an issue of blocked extra point or missed extra point being the difference maker in that game. Williams in the shotgun, got a man to his left. Two receivers lining up. Home run ball. He's got room, and it's incomplete. And that is a lot of frustration there, intended for Travaglini. And if he got that, he might have found himself in the end zone, but instead it's 4th down.
What's wrong to Travaglini?
Man.
Can't connect some Mustang 4th down.
Just tried so hard to get that one to go. And I mean, I understand why you do it. You got to convert, and the 3rd down conversions haven't been their strong spot tonight. And 3rd and 10, you go for the home run ball. You see what happens. You catch the RedHawks off guard, but I think they were caught off guard for sure, but Triton just couldn't connect there. Punt by Lewis. Gets a good angle on this one. This is going to land at the 40. And it will get picked up at the 34.
And the
Williams, quarterback.
to take it over at their own 34.
If you remember last year, the Mustangs, they are coming off of back-to-back seasons of 2 wins and 3 wins, respectively. 3-8 in 2023. They started off the season 2-0 and then lost 8 of their last 9 games, including a 6-game losing streak from September 29th to November 2nd, including 1-score losses in both of their crossover games versus Overbrook and Audubon. Pass to the left side. Ball comes out, whistles are going to blow. Pass went to number 6, that being Rodriguez. A little fan-led rally here. Yeah, I got a little excited there for the Mustangs. Thought they were going to get another opportunity, but it is a moot point. Listen to this crowd. Second and 11. Something flew off on the play, but it's caught. Here he goes down the sideline. He gets across the 50 to the 45. And a great reception by Stevenson is enough for a RedHawk 1st down.
And number 22, Brady Lewis pushes number 1 out of bounds. RedHawks get a 1st down.
And this has been a frustrating sequence of events for the Mustangs just ever since the first quarter. ACIT has held them out. 2 years ago, the Mustangs went 2-7. And again, started off the year 0-3, back-to-back wins over Pemberton and Northern Burlington. That was their last playoff appearance in South Jersey Group 3. A 35-33 loss to the Pinelands. on October 27th, 2022. But it wasn't too long ago that Triton had an above 500 program in 2021 at least. They were 7-4. After starting the year off 0-2, they ripped off 6 straight wins over Deptford, Bridgeton, PVI, Seneca, Atlantic City, and Cherry Hill East. Lost in the first round of Central Group 3 to Woodrow Wilson, now Camden East side. Keeper to the right side. We've got flags. No whistles yet, though. And he will take himself out of bounds near the first down marker. But hold on here.
And there's a flag on the play.
See what they've got here. It's going to be an offensive hold.
And it's against the RedHawks. The hold against the RedHawks.
So RedHawks get backed up after the QB rush. The keeper by Gaetano. It'll be 3rd and long. Just listen to this crowd.
And it'll repeat first down.
Great crowd on hand tonight supporting the Mustangs in their 3rd home game in this new renovated stadium. A crossover by Gaetano ends up getting stopped, and after the holding call on 1st and 20, it'll be 2nd and maybe 21. Big right there for the Mustangs, but if you remember last time the RedHawks were on 2nd and 20, they converted on that play. So not all is lost for the RedHawks, but not all is lost for the Mustangs either. I mean, there's still a lot of football to be played here in the 3rd quarter and beyond, but it's not going to be easy for the RedHawks if the Mustangs keep making those stops at the defensive line. 8 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. RedHawks got the last score of the half on a touchdown to Stevenson with 10 seconds left in the 2nd quarter. Here comes a rush to Taco. That'll be another stop. I mean, I'd be a lot more worried about Triton if it weren't for that holding call. That holding call knocks them back, and ACIT has to adapt what they're doing to get there.
Down for the RedHawks.
And there's a Triton player that got hurt, but he was able to get himself off the field. That is Tavon Douglas, a big part of their defense. Not feeling well. That's all we're going to say. He's not feeling well. And you can fill in the gaps from there. Dropping back on 3rd and very long, 3rd and 22. Dumps the pass off, and he'll get to about 4th and 13 at the 40 on the completion to Franchini.
And another big stop by that Triton defense. 4th down for the RedHawks.
They will punt. Handle will punt. Looks like Lewis and Morley on the return. Or I'm sorry, that is number 19. Antonio Clary, it looks like. I'm sorry, that's Saunders again. That one's going to be rolled back all the way to the 5. Here comes Saunders. He's got room. Hold on here. We don't have any flags. And he went to the 25. My camera was already pointed at the 50, thinking that he was going to get more distance on that. There weren't any flags either, so I really thought he was going to break that one away. Wow.
They'll start their drive from there.
I mean, it certainly could be worse. They received the ball at the 5, picked up 20 yards. We have a player down. Injury timeout with 6:12 in the 3rd. Looks like somebody on the ACIT sideline being attended to. But they'll spot the ball to 24. We'll take a quick break as the athletic trainers attend to this player. We'll be right back. We're back here after an injury timeout. Mustangs setting this one up from the 24 after what really could have been a great punt return rather, from Saunders. .612 in 1st and 10, handoff to Morley, or not to Morley, rather to Mank. Gets a couple of yards. By the way, this broadcast is brought to you by our good friends over at Harper Driving School. Over 95% of students who take their driving course with Harper pass their driving test on the first try. If you like those odds, you can book an appointment at Suite 4 of the Total Turf Complex in Pittman, right off of Lambs Road. Also, Dan Wilkins Broadcasting is always looking for small business owners who are interested in getting in the advertising game and becoming a sponsor of Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. Sponsors are how we bring these free local broadcasts to viewers at home. And this one is going to go up to the 41 as dragged at his feet. Mank gets a breakaway. And it'll be enough for a Mustangs first down. They were already on 2nd and short. And now are able to punch that one through and get that one to the 42 on a 13-yard gain by Mank. But advertising deals start for as low as $250 for 6 months. All commercials you see on DWB are filmed, edited, recorded, and produced by me and my wonderful crew. Goes towards college expenses, travel costs, and equipment upgrades and expenses. We've got a flag at the line of scrimmage. It's going to be a false start on the Mustangs. That'll knock them back 5 yards after the first down by Mank. A 1st and 15, 37.
Risky first down.
But as we said, if you're interested in advertising with Dan Wilkins Broadcasting, you can send us an email with an inquiry at thedanwilkinsshow@gmail.com. We'll send you an advertising flyer with more information. We can get you guys in the know and on the air. By the way, so actually we'll hold off on after this play because we do have some out-of-town scores coming in. Here comes the rush. Mank not going to get anywhere on that. Tackle by number 52, Salahuddin. That'll set up 2nd and long. But as we said, some out-of-town scoreboards. Glassboro leads Salem 24-0 early into the second half. And at Vineland-Pennsauken, more big school football, at the halftime just broke there. At Pennsauken, Indians lead the Fighting Clan 13-7. 2nd and 15. Williams with a pocket pass. It hits off of the helmet of a Triton player. It batted 20 feet into the air and falls incomplete. I mean, imagine the scenes if that ball gets picked. They got very lucky. And ACIT, wow, that was a close call. I mean, we've talked about tipped interceptions before. We've seen a slew of them, but I didn't think I was ready to see one that went that high in the air and came down. But that one falls incomplete. Williams dumps a pass off a high-flying pass that went for short yardage to Morley. It gets them within 10 yards of a first. And I think Tomeo's deciding whether to keep his offense on the field. You do have time, but you don't have that many possessions left. You know, this is a high school football game that has already gone relatively quickly. And there's been a handful of flags, but a lot of these teams like to run. And ACIT, even though they do prefer the pass, have been incredibly efficient. so you don't have to worry about the clock stopping every other play. They will bring Lewis out to punt on 4th and 11, and a timeout will be called by the defense. The RedHawks burn their first timeout of the half, and will also take a timeout. 14-7, Mustangs ready to punt with 3:51 in the half.
Taken by the RedHawks.
We're back after the RedHawks timeout. It is a punt for Lewis. 4th and 11. Mustangs are opting to give this one up. Oh, they're going to fake the punt, and it's incomplete. Wow. Incomplete to Pettigrew, who was the intended receiver. And a handful of dropped passes. Man, I had a feeling after that timeout they were going to go with a little bit of unorthodox trickery, and they would have gotten the first down if he had completed it. But, I mean, that's the thing. There's layers to it. You have incompletions, and then you have dropped passes. We've seen a handful of dropped passes, which is the last thing that you want in this kind of situation. One-score game, and ACIT is just... They haven't found the end zone since the second quarter either, but they're trying their darndest, and they're just it's kind of boiled down to who can make less mistakes. It's unfortunate, but that's how it's been tonight for these guys. ACIT with Hernandez to his left. Hernandez does take it. We've got 2 separate flags in. He's still on his feet. And finally gets wrestled to the ground. But we have 2 flags. One was thrown by the Whitecap about 3-4 seconds after the first one came into the side. And I don't know if they're the same one or if maybe we have a dichotomy here and an offset. But we're going to get the breakdown here. Let's see what they've got to discuss. Because like we said, we saw 2 flags come in, but they were maybe 3 or 4 seconds apart. False start comes on the offense. That penalty's declined. It's going to be an offensive hold. So no offset, and I was right that there are 2 separate penalties.
Off for moving. That'll put him back 1st and long.
So what did they say in Mortal Kombat? That's a combo breaker, as it's a holding and a false start. That knocks them back to 1st and 20. That's what we like to say around here at the 49. Sends his man Stevenson in motion. Handoff to the left. Gets across the 50 to the 49 for 2 yards. To Yanfrey Hernandez.
Number 11, Jimmy Macri, and number 3, Ryan Worley. It's still 2nd and long for the RedHawks.
By the way, after the game, if you need some nice content to watch tonight, the Dan Wilkins Show uploaded our 14th episode and our first since 2022. We rebooted the podcast with a South Jersey focus and interviewed for 2 hours Sterling head baseball coach and Sterling TV director Tad Kozanowski. He had plenty of stories to share, and we are grateful to have had him on the show. We'll try to have episodes weekly here on GWB. 2:29 left in the 3rd quarter. It's 2nd and 18. They got 2 yards and went across the 50 to the opposing 49. With Gaetano under center, they fake the handoff. That's going to be taken down, and they get it back across the 50 on the other side of the river, and they get it to the 46. It's going to be third and long now.
Big stop for the Detroit defense.
I mean, hey, if Williams couldn't connect on that home run ball, wouldn't hurt for ACIT to also try that home run ball, except they're in an even worse situation now at 3rd and 22. Under 2 minutes left in the third. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Look at this. We've got... Look at these people going down for pizza. Hey, they may be down by a score, but I don't turn down pizza. 3rd and 22. Gaetano back in the shotgun. He is dropping way back. He is in trouble. He is down. This is going to set up 4th and a country mile. Oh, boy. That's Chica Boykin on the sack. And this is going to be 4th and 35. From the 34, and ACIT will punt. Joey Handel
For the RedHawks.
will punt. They actually have 3 returners on this one. That being Morley, Lewis, and Saunders. So this will be interesting what they can come up with on 4th and 35. Low-hanging punt doesn't even make it to the first down marker. And it will get them to the 35. Offense takes over with 26 seconds left in the third quarter. But still a handful of football left. And don't forget, we've got a decent amount of football this weekend as well. Tomorrow on the 20th, Vince and I will be back in action again between Audubon and Pennsville. The first matchup with my old alma mater, Audubon. I guess I could say new alma mater because I recently graduated from there. But 1st and 10 from the 35, Mustangs take over after a paltry drive by the RedHawks. Williams, in transition, passes it off to Menk, who gets hit and gets 5 yards to the 40, 2nd and 5. That looks like that'll be the last play of the third. Yeah, they not going to have time here. And they will end the third quarter on a 5-yard reception to Menk. And after 3 quarters, it's been fun. And Triton still looking to tie up this game. It is 14-7 after 3 in Runnymede. Well, Triton just broke from their huddle. Had the entire team, freshman, JV, and varsity, all in that huddle talk to head coach John Tomeo, just trying to get in the rhythm. And they've got 12 minutes left to get into the end zone and defend. Oh, that's a huge jersey tug. And that will knock them back. I mean, that jersey almost ripped apart like Caleb Williams did last week.
Jerseys they wear in the NFL are literally made to just absolute sense. You can't drag somebody down.
Exactly, yeah.
Down for the
You
Mustangs.
saw that number stretch from Frankie Williams there. But like I said, Triton is some of the best threads in South Jersey. As it'll be 3rd and 9. Pass to Saunders is caught. He gets dragged down at the 40, and that'll bring up 4th and 4. Maybe 4th and 5, 4-ish. It will be at the 41. I think you should go for it here.
Jeremy Saunders on the outside.
I think you go for it here.
And 5 for the Mustangs.
It's 4th and 5. You've got 11 minutes left. You don't know how many drives you're going to get. ACIT might pull off one of those Collingswood moves where you go 30 yards and you burn 5 minutes off the clock. They're going to keep the offense on the field. I like this. I like this. It didn't work before, but if there's any time to try it, it's now. That's at least what I think. Get yourself in a good position. Find a man. Switching around the offense a little bit here as Williams runs this one out to the right. Dumps a pass. It's over the head of Morley. Another failed 4th down for the Mustangs. And a disappointed Mustangs turn the ball over. I mean, if you punted there, maybe they would have picked up the ball at the 30 or 40. Now they're across the 50. And ACIT takes over at the 40. It's those incompletions and those dropped catches. I mean, there's been a few where Williams hasn't put them in a good spot, and then there's a couple where he has. They're throwing T-shirts. We've got a T-shirt toss. We've got melee up here at the front. I think they ran out of T-shirts. I was going to ask for one. I need a night shirt.
They aren't good enough to get into the press box.
I don't know if it is, Vince.
If it is, they're the new QB.
Line drive pass caught. And taken in at the 30 for a gain of 9 by Dante Franchini.
And ECIT picks up a 1st down.
Either way, Tavon Douglas stays back on the field. He fell ill in the 3rd quarter.
Our T-shirts, they do love coaching during that Triton Rumble. So Triton wants to thank them for their support of our athletic programs.
First and 10. ACIT did pick up the 1st down, and we are going to have a timeout called by the Mustangs. They burn their first of the second half.
It's a timeout.
Both teams have 2 remaining. ACIT leads 14-7, and they've got the ball on the 30. First and 10. We'll be right back. ACIT picks up a 1st down. Mustangs burn a timeout. They've got 2 remaining. Both teams have 2 remaining. A direct snap to, QB rush to Gaetano in an empty backfield. So Gaetano, who has scored one of ACIT's 2 scores tonight, a 61-yard rushing TD in the 1st quarter.
Number 20, John Pettigrew.
Opened up the scoring for the RedHawks.
Sebastian Fernandez.
So, hope you all are joining us from wherever you are on this nice Thursday night. Not too many Not too many days that are going to be nice like this one. We might be wearing jackets and sweatpants and snow boots in the next couple of weeks. I'm not sure. Here comes the handoff to the right side. He's got good movement, and the rush by Franchini ends up making it second down. No, they're going to say
and the run is stopped by 18 Evan McCutcheon, but it is a RedHawks first down.
McCutcheon on the stop for the Mustangs. As we said, tomorrow night, Audubon, Pennsville, 7 o'clock, and then next week we've got Holy Cross and Riverside on Thursday the 25th at 6 o'clock, and then Thursday the 26th is Holy Cross, Riverside, and then Friday the 27th we go down to Deptford for a matchup between the Egg Harbor Eagles and the Deptford Spartans. Should be a fun one. New set of downs and a new set of flags on the field. Clock will stop at 8:20.
And
We'll start on the offense.
Reese first down.
That'll knock him back 5 yards, and it'll be 1st and 15. Eight minutes left in regulation. ACIT driving on the 1st and 15 after the holding call. Hit in the backfield. A nice one there by number 52, Sebastian Fernandez.
Number 52, Sebastian Fernandez.
We'll bring up second and long.
It's a RedHawks second down.
And Triton just needs to keep doing those plays. Whenever they're rushing, they've got to put themselves in a position where they can, pierce that offensive line and make the tackle. Because in addition to not having the most efficient passes, they also have just led up too many yards to ACIT and set up good field position. But there's a reason why this game is 14-7. We've seen a handful of drives and so many drives that have just gone nowhere, and that you just get nothing out of it. I mean, I can't remember the last time, there's probably been only 3 times that ACIT was in the red zone tonight. Pass to the left is caught. Big hit again. And that is completed to Rodriguez. Be 3rd down, and a gain of 4, so 3rd and 11.
And it's a 3rd down for the RedHawks.
Got a fun selection of music tonight. Hey, props to the Triton band. They've been doing a great job. Give them their flowers, man. Empty backfield, 5 wide receivers. Here we go. We've got Gaetano with room. He's got to be met, and a pass to is incomplete. Intended for Franchini, and he slew of blue and red. Ended up thwarting that one, and with 6 minutes exact.
It is a RedHawks 4th down.
So they'll run out of time there, and it'll be, 4th and 11, but still. I mean, they're on the 21, so I don't think it would be too outrageous to go for it. I think that's a good idea.
On tonight, who knows?
Who knows at this point? I mean, look, my parents were at the Bengals-Cowboys game in November of 2000, Troy Aikman's last win at home at Texas Stadium. And that game had the Bengals punting in the 4th quarter on the opposing 24. It's the only time since 2000 that an NFL team punted from inside their 30. This time, though, they will go for it on 4th and 11. Breaks free. I think it looks like that's going to be short by about 3 yards. That will be short. And the Mustangs take over in not ideal field position, but
But they are South Triton over on down.
They'll take it over from inside their 20 at the 14. But this is what I like to call the legacy drive. This is the drive that makes or breaks your night. And look, Triton started off last year with 2 wins. They started off 2-0. They lost week 3, then they lost 8 of their next 9 games to end the season. They lost week 3 this year, winning weeks 1 and 2.
Oh, no.
You don't want that same scenario to happen, and we've got flags. False start on the offense. Seen a slew of those coming in tonight. As we said, episode 14 of the Dan Wilkins Show premiered today at noon with Sterling head baseball coach and Sterling TV director Tad Kozanowski. We have great conversations about Rowan Radio, along with modern TV media, old school broadcast production, and his favorite memories of doing broadcasts at Sterling and for Channel 19 and the Varsity Sports Network. Williams to the right side. It's incomplete, but almost got picked by number 32. Actually, I'm sorry, number 30. That being Giovanni Vittorio.
It's a Mustang second down.
Mustangs at 2nd and 15 after the false start and the incompletion. 5:46 left, but Mustangs have to get into a new gear if they want to win this game, or at least send it to overtime. We've got more flags, and it's going to be another false start. Oof. 2nd and 20 now for the Mustangs. Tomeo is ticked off, calling over Williams. Like I said, these are the drives that make or break your ball games, and like we said, you know, this is the 2nd year in a row. Triton started off 2-0, but lost in week 3. You can't let those slipping moments haunt you again. And we'll see what they can pick up here with 6 minutes remaining. Williams dumps off a pass from the goal line because they were on their own 4. Ball comes out, but it goes out of bounds at the 14, which was where they started off this drive after the incompletion. We've got a Triton player down. That is Mank. They're pulling everybody away from him.
I mean, we gotta do what we gotta do. We're gonna have to get the ball back. All we can do is take them on the clock.
And this crowd has fallen silent after the injury to Mank. All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break because this appears to be a bad situation here for Mank. 14-7 ACIT. We'll take a quick break. So Mank has lifted his head. He will be helped by coaches on both sides, and a thunderous round of applause as Mank gets helped off. He had the reception and will be attended to by the Triton staff. That was a very scary situation. I mean, that that crowd for a good couple minutes there was incredibly silent, like pin drop silent. And, you know, there are very few situations where people pay that much attention to a player that's down just because of the severity of what that could have been. But hopefully he is okay. They will keep, it's 3rd and 11, so they'll run back to normal here, but now without Mank, one of their top rushers and receivers so far. You always have to keep player safety first, especially with high school athletics. And another false start, their 3rd of the drive, knocks them back to 3rd and long. They've just been a little too jumpy tonight, and I mean, 3 false starts in a drive is really no fluke, I would say. But they've just got to overcome this, and it'll be 3rd and 16. A very frustrated crowd also reacting to those false starts. It's 3rd and 16. Williams and co. backed up to their own 9. He will roll to the goal line. Williams stops, now has a pass over the middle. It's caught. They're going to get a first down from Braden Lewis. That's what they needed there, especially after Mank got hurt. He needed somebody to step up.
To number 20, Braden Lewis.
And Lewis,
Sam.
the junior, gets this crowd an injection of life again as we're just a hair over 5 minutes. But yeah, that's the thing we were talking about. Can't speculate too much, but especially with concussions and head injuries, whatever it could be, don't mess around with those, especially at the high school level. Williams in trouble. He stays on his feet. He sheds a tackler. He dumps this one off to Morley. It's complete. It'll be a gain, and they will get 5 yards on an improbable completion for a gain. And a little confusion there as now it's out of bounds. They said that Morley ran out of bounds, so the clock stops at 4:47. I thought that, I mean, Tomeo had his hands up like he was going to call a timeout, but he didn't, and because the ball was out of play, they just called Williams over. 2nd and 5. From the 34. This is a big moment here. Williams, again dropping back. O-line does their job, but that's a pass that falls incomplete. Not sure who the intended receiver was.
3rd down, Mustangs.
Triton, led by head coach Dominic Tomeo, assisted by Brian Bain, Steve Feeney, William Lewin, Ryan Sellers, Thomas Small, and Ray Traley. Ray Traley, also a former baseball coach in the organization. 4:42, 3rd and 5. We'll see what they do here. He's got one man to his left, 2 receivers on each side. And Williams again taking it from the shotgun, throws from the pocket. It's deep. This is overthrown, and it's incomplete. Intended again for number 22, Lewis, who converted on 3rd and 16 earlier in the drive. And you can hear it from downstairs. You know, we have kind of an aerial view up here, but from the stands, a lot of frustration with the play calling. I mean, I have not heard fans be I've heard fans be frustrated with the players or with the officials, but there's just a lot of dissent against the play calling here. A lot of them don't like it. It's 4th and 5. Make or break right here for the Mustangs. Williams finds his man. It's caught by Lewis. He did it again. He's got room. He's at the 45. He's at the 40. Here comes the RedHawks. He will be taken out of bounds lightly at the 30. And clock is going to stop.
Frankie Williams finds Braden Lewis again.
I didn't know if they were going to complete that one, but he did. Lewis and Williams again with a dynamic duo. That was perfectly placed there. I mean, okay, I don't know about perfectly placed, but they did their job. Oh, so sideline warning on the RedHawks. Actually, I'm sorry. It's saying it's on the Mustangs. Lewis this year, 2 receptions going into tonight. And they're going to move this ball up to the 15.
So Brandon Lewis gives some room after receiving the ball.
Did we have a late call that we didn't see?
Somewhere around the 25, looks like a penalty against the RedHawks.
Yeah, here we go. They're in the red zone. They're at the 15. Williams rushes out to the left. And he gets sacked for a loss of 5+.
And it's a second down.
Second and long after the sack by Williams. I mean, he rolled out to the left, but ACIT saw that perfectly. Now under 4 minutes in regulation, but a much better field possession. I mean, 2 incredible catches by Braden Lewis. Now Williams in a trips formation to the right side. He's got room. He dumps it off, and it's short. Wow. He just kind of floated that pass off, and it was short. You see, Williams is holding his, he was holding his abdomen for a second there. And again, it's third down. Williams and Lewis teaming up again. Third and long after a sack. And they're right on the red zone at the 20. Williams passes over the middle. It's picked off. It's picked off. How about this? They're going to bring this one up to the 30. Williams lays the helmet in for the hit. And Joshua Goldsmith, a name we haven't heard too much of tonight, picks him off with 3:30 left in the game. Triton with their best chance yet. The pass didn't get the leg over the middle.
That takes the wind out of you right there.
And it takes the wind out of you, and we're not done yet. But ACIT now has taken over control of the wheel. And we've heard this about a million times from fans tonight. They're saying, run the ball, run the ball. I'm not one to comment too much on coaching decisions. I don't know. I don't know if I like that much passing there, especially when Williams hasn't been all that accurate tonight. You know, like, look, there's room for improvement there. He's had some amazing plays. They were backed up on 3rd and 16 at the other red zone. They got out of it because he found Lewis. It just seems like when he tried to find anyone other than Lewis, he couldn't connect. But still a lot of time and a lot of development to be made here for the Mustangs. Timeout's going to be called by the RedHawks. We'll take a quick break. 3:32 left in the fourth quarter, and the RedHawks with a crucial pick as they are 3 minutes away if they can hang on to this to their second franchise victory. We'll be right back. What a night for the RedHawks. They lead 14-7. A huge pick by Goldsmith. And a handoff to the left side. Ball went out, but it's out of bounds. It'll be a loss of, well, see the running spot, which would take at least 5.
So lose yards, it'll be second down.
Yeah, they're telling them to stop the clock here. I don't know why the clock was running.
And it's a timeout taken by Triton.
Oh, Triton did call a timeout. Okay, so a bit of confusion on the clock.
And don't forget, folks,
but now both teams have one remaining. So, I mean, wow, this has been an exciting game back and forth, but I feel like this is one of those games where they say in the NFL world, when in doubt, player of the game goes with quarterback. I feel like this is one where Anthony Gaetano, I feel like he's deserved this. Open up the scoring with that 61-yard run, and he's just been instrumental in not doing too much.
Yeah.
And that's what I think haunts a lot of quarterbacks today is doing too much. It's literally all it is. Doing home run balls, doing all this fancy spin moves and stuff. He's like, he is a classic running quarterback. Not what we have today with the professionals where you basically are a second running back, but this is different. He's running when he needs to, and he's nimble and quick. But what I like about Gaetano is that he's dumping off these short passes that are almost always getting completed. I mean, you're basically a running team, but you're throwing the ball 5 yards every time. They're not doing too much with it, and the fact that they are in the lead is a perfect example of that. ACIT needs to go 3 and out here for the Mustangs to have another shot with only one timeout left. This will bring up 3rd and long. Whoa, a late tackle there. And timeout's going to be called by the Mustangs. They used their last kind of early, but I like the fact that they're using them now.
And another big stop.
3:07 left.
And another Triton timeout.
Don't forget, our next broadcast will be Friday, September 20th, and a matchup between the Audubon Green Wave and the Pennsville Eagles, and a matchup between Camden County and Salem County. 7 o'clock kickoff, and then on Sunday, September 22nd, it's a doubleheader for fall softball between the Cecil Seahawks and the Camden County Cougars. By the way, some out-of-town scoreboard updates. The Bridgeton Bulldogs, after going winless in their past 2 seasons, are 4-0. They just beat Deptford 20-12 for their 4th straight victory. At the end of the 3rd quarter, Glassboro leads, 9:26 left in the 4th. Glassboro leads Salem 40-0. Yeah. Pennsauken leads Vineland 20-6 with 4:50 left in the 3rd quarter. Not a whole lot of Thursday action tonight. But still rocking here. Let's see what they've got indeed. 3:07 left in regulation. Dropping back, and he's going to get sacked again. This will bring up 4th and very long.
Ball set, with 40 seconds. It should be.
And it's another tackling back.
Now that the ball is set, ACIT will punt.
Down for the RedHawks.
4th and 22. Although even I feel like that's no, there's no way it's 4th and 22. It's got to be 4th and 25, maybe 4th and 30. I'm not sure. No, it's about 4th and 26, looks like. Yeah.
Or maybe they're not one.
They will punt. Goes to the 40s is where it lands. It will go out of bounds right around midfield. And Triton, this is not the position that they wanted to be in, but it's the hand that you're dealt. You know, you had a chance to tie the game with 5 minutes left. It gets picked off with 3. Think about it this way. ACIT went 3 and out. And because Triton burned their timeouts, ACIT has 1 remaining, and they only burned off a minute and 20 seconds. That is the best case scenario for Triton. They burned off as little time as possible, and the punt being so far back on 4th and 25 now has you at midfield. And this is where Triton has another chance for a legacy drive. Lewis dives to his left, and it is complete. Gets about 10, 12 yards on that. Should be enough for a Triton first down. They've got it.
First down. Williams connects again.
Now they restart the clock. I think because he went out of bounds. It's within 2 minutes. The clock stops on every play that goes out of bounds, I believe. Williams home run ball over the middle, tipped off, tipped away, intended for Saunders. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I feel like this is a situation where you have to pass the ball. Maybe earlier in the game it wasn't as appropriate, but here it is because they, you know, the runs, they don't have any timeouts. They kind of have to pass the ball, but I think they should go with shorter passes. They should go with shorter passes. But again, I'm not Dom Tomeo. I'm not the offensive coordinator. That's just my opinion. Williams again, immediately racing out of the pocket. Incomplete. And almost picked off as Morley was the intended receiver. Oh, man. That'll bring up 3rd down and 10. I mean, they had Morley there, just a slight overthrow. I mean, there's been some situations where the throw is right, the receiver doesn't make the catch. Triton has just had incredibly bad lucky breaks. Unlucky breaks is what I'm trying to say. There's been some situations where it's an overthrow or an underthrow, and then there's been other situations where the ball is right there and the receiver doesn't make the catch. You eliminate one of those two holding you back, and Triton's in the lead by a score, maybe 2 scores. This crowd starting to arise again, down by 7 with 107 seconds left. 1:47 on the clock and counting. Incomplete. Saunders had to dive to his left. See, there's another one. He overran it. But they have to convert here on 4th and 10 or it's game over. ACIT would improve to 2-1 in their 2nd ever franchise victory, as this is their 3rd game. They lost to Vineland, got shut out, and Mancuso won over Deptford 21-14. For Triton, they would fall to 2-2 after a 2-0 start to the season. They're at Bridgeton and Highland for their next 2. No margin for error. Williams dumps off a pass and it's incomplete. Lewis, wide right. And the Atlantic Tech RedHawks are one step closer to winning this game.
Will take over on downs.
This crowd again had so much energy and then just fell silent at the last moment. I thought on 4th and 10, as soon as that ball was going to Williams, it might be good because Williams and Lewis have been the de facto dynamic duo tonight. But it was not meant to be. And the ACIT RedHawks, no timeouts. They can just run a couple of plays and send this one home. As we said, Triton last year was in basically the same boat. 2-0 start, and then they lost 8 of their next 9. And now it looks like they'll go into victory formation. And they'll have to do this twice, maybe 3 times. I mean, this is a gut-wrenching loss for the Mustangs, but I mean, for the sparse crowd that traveled from Mays Landing to get here tonight for Thursday Night Football, they're stoked. I mean, and I would be too. You know, this is a statement win. You got the win on the road after winning at home versus Deptford. Now you can finally say we've won at home, we've won on the road, we have a winning streak. And ACIT, I think we can definitively say, is on the South Jersey map. They were put in a nice division with Cherry Hill West and these guys earlier this year after not existing last year. I would have thought that for a new team they would have automatically been put in the United Division or something like that, but obviously these guys correctly valued ACIT, and they are not only 2-1, they are undefeated against divisional opponents now. And the final knee will be taken as the Atlantic Tech RedHawks and Mustangs exchange their lovelies and their hugs as their 2nd win in franchise history will go to the red, yellow, and white of Mays Landing as Chris Mancuso and assistant coach Sacco, who had 431 wins at St. Joe's Hamilton across 41 years, now will line both teams up at the 50, and with a scoreless second half, we close this one 14-7. Clock hits 0, and there you have it. ACIT wins their second game in a row and their second in franchise history.
Have a nice evening.
Wow. I mean, it says something when 2 seconds after the clock hits zero, the scoreboard is shut off. I mean, this is a shocking loss for Triton. You know, they came into this game with really high energy, and that energy just very slowly left the building. You know, and there was some fourth quarter magic that seemed to get Triton back, and then that pick by number 2, Joshua Goldsmith, kind of sealed the deal. And even though they only burned off a minute 20 late in the fourth, I mean, there just wasn't too much that ACIT, you know, had left to offer. They gave them what they wanted, and that was a good game. And Tom McGurk is smiling down there. You know, there's a lot of happy faces in the South Jersey community. To anybody but Triton, I think. You know, like, it's always nice to see a new program get their footing. And I think that this is something that ACIT will hold their heads high on. Maybe they'll look back at this footage tonight and be able to celebrate, because they've got a long bus ride back to Mays Landing. So, should be fun, though. I mean, look, these guys are excited. There's only really 2 tech schools I know of in Jersey that have football teams. PCTI, Passaic Tech, and ACIT. And this is just their 3rd game. And, you know, after they lost to Vineland, they got shut out 18-0 on week 0. And I thought, you know, okay, this is going to be a building year for these guys. But, I mean, for a first-year program to start off 2-1, they're in the same boat as Kip Cooper. This is an impressive win for ACIT. Your thoughts on it, Vince?
Well, I mean, just at the beginning of the game, I mean, looking at these 2 teams, I mean, looking at ACIT to really start things off, they're a team, like I said in the halftime show, they want to set the bar high. They're a brand new team. They didn't exist last year. They want to come in here with, I mean, a gritty attitude, and just what happened here. They left this crowd speechless. I mean, everyone's leaving on a very, very quiet and sad note. But again, for Triton tonight, I think there was just too much hero ball, especially when it came to converting on 4th down. I mean, you weren't completing passes. There were times where either the pass was thrown too far out in front of your receiver, or you just had times where your receiver just straight up dropped the ball. And it was just an unfortunate, like I said, it carried onto trying to convert, and as well with the long ball, that was not on point either. So It was just something where nothing was working. The team, I mean, fortunately, I hate to say it, Triton was off from the beginning. And they really just didn't have anything going. Now, of course...
And they found the end zone first, I should say.
Exactly.
Morley got 10 yards, got into the end zone, things looked good. And now, you know, ACIT, look, they got back in the end zone with, I mean, I think the turning point of that game, it sounds crazy to say that the turning point of the game was midway through the first quarter.
Yeah.
But Gaetano breaking free for 61 yards was a great feat. You know, it showed that we're here to play. He's a classic rushing quarterback. He didn't do too much with it. He took a gap, and at the 50, he was basically at the Triton sideline and just didn't stop.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing, I think. And, you know, leapfrogging off your point there of the hero ball was, I don't know if I was a fan of the deep passes.
Yeah.
And, you know, I usually don't agree with the coaches or with the fans that are dissing the coaches and you know, bashing the coaches from the grandstand, but I wasn't a huge fan of these deep passes. I felt like the options that you had worked in the first quarter. Obviously, you lost Menk, you know, to that injury. That's always going to be a bummer, and there's nothing you can do about that. Football is football.
Yeah.
But you still had Ryan Morley, and you could have still trotted out a couple of other guys in there, and they've got some great receivers like Lewis and Saunders. If Triton won this game, I think Braden Lewis would have been a great contender for player of the game because he started changing that tone. But then that tone just didn't shift all the way. That pick with 3:32 left by Goldsmith sealed the deal, really.
Yeah.
And I honestly thought that Triton was going to get back and they were going to have their legacy drive. The energy was there. The crowd atmosphere was there, and the energy was there on the field as well. They converted on these good plays, and it looked really good. And the fact that ACIT on their last offensive drive only burned a minute and 20 seconds, that was good for Triton because they forced a lot of sacks. They forced losses on the defensive side and ended up, you know, punting on 4th and 25 or something like that.
Yeah.
So it looked good, but then they just didn't have it. And, you know, sometimes I think that they probably should have run the ball more. And like I said, I'm never going to step on the football field as a coach or as a player, but I think that definitely a turning point was the fact that they were just passing the ball time and time again, and they would complete one, and then they would miss three. And, like I said, it was a combination of just bad luck, where it would either be the pass was over or underthrown, and then when it wasn't over or underthrown, the receiver wouldn't catch it. So Williams was doing the best he could. And like I said, if you eliminate one of those factors, if his accuracy gets twice as good, then we're talking about a Triton win, easily. If his receivers catch the ball, and that goes for all of them, then Triton wins the game. ACIT got out of here, because they capitalized when it matters most. But you got to remember, this was a scoreless second half.
Yeah,
there was not a lot going on. It was absolutely a close but no cigar half. I would say that Gaetano's got to be my player of the game candidate.
Yeah, I mean, he was the one that was definitely stepping up when needed to, and I mean, he pretty much just carried the momentum, was a big piece on what carried the momentum for just ACIT in general. And I mean, hey, I got to give kudos to them. You got to look at both sides on the defense, but again, like you said, when it comes to Triton, if those passes, and I know there's a lot of ifs you can say after a team loses, I get that, people say it all the time, but
they say it on the Eagles radio.
Oh, I know, but like you see the situation, and I will bring that into it. And there is an if where if those passes were on point, or if they caught the ball in those clutch situations that happened a lot tonight, you'd probably be seeing a different outcome. And this crowd, instead of leaving a very silent, would probably be leaving.
Very excitedly.
At a point where you need to start getting the cops here to calm everyone down. So
look, this was this is a turning point game for Triton. They've got they've only got one more game left in September. They play Bridgeton, and then they've got off to start October. Then they play Highland. They've only got 4 games left in the regular season. So this is like I said, deja vu from last year. But you hope Dom Tomeo can turn it around. He's a very good coach. He is a very vocal coach, and like I said, he is not one to mince his words, and I think that his team will feel very strongly about this loss going forward. And like I said, just piggybacking off of the Gaetano point, like, he not only was a good rushing quarterback, but he was good at dumping off those short passes.
Yeah.
He didn't go for the home run ball more than like 2 or 3 times when he absolutely needed to, and it was like 4th and 20. So they did what they had to, and he ended up, being in a situation where, maybe 80-90% of his passes were completed. Like I said, I doubt we get stats for this game, unfortunately, just because there's not a lot of information on edger.com, which, but we'll see what we can do. But yeah, Gaetano was the key player of this game, and I'll be excited to see him develop and grow, because he is Gaetano is a junior. So in the second season of ACIT with a younger core around him, we'll see what he can do in 2025. But we're talking about the present. 14-7 ACIT wins. That'll be all for us tonight here on DWB. From our entire crew, our social media coordinators, Brandon Kagerland and Keely Curran, our graphics crew, Gavin Van Rel, Caleb Lane, and Nelson Reeves. My producer and color commentator tonight, Vincent Folks. I'm Dan Wilkins. You'll see both of us tomorrow night in Salem County, right off of Exit 2. It's the Audubon Green Wave and the Pennsville Eagles at a 7 o'clock kickoff, and then fall softball on Sunday between Cecil and Camden County at 12 and 2, respectively. 14-7, ACIT takes their second franchise victory here in 2024. That'll be all for us tonight. We'll see you tomorrow. Until we meet again, have a good one, folks, and good night.
What about that? That was good. That was a file trip.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, we get out of the parking lot.
Hopefully, yeah.
Oh,
just make sure you stop the stream, remember?
Yeah. Yeah, we don't want that.
That was a good game.
It was. I mean,
even though it wasn't how you wanted it to go, still a good game by all means. And I'm glad I got to see a good game with ACIT